Joseph's second secret. We need to receive woman, and in receiving her, we need to set the pace of self-giving love. So to receive woman, we need to understand what it means to be a man. What does it mean to be a real man? John Paul II says in his Theology Body that the human body reveals the mystery of man. And not only the mystery of man, but the mystery of God. He says, man, not so much in his solitude, images God, but in his call to communion. So when man and woman come together, man by himself doesn't image God as much as a man and a woman coming together in the one flesh union. Then they image Christ in his church, the intersubjective love of the Trinity. So the man's body, made of the same substance, if you will, body and soul as a woman, he's fundamentally different. And it's stamped right in his loins. Our bodies express that we're initiators, that we're generators, that we're called to set the pace of self-giving love. This is our call as men. This is our essence. A man is principally, but not solely responsible for the loving union that takes place between he and his spouse. The two most notable examples of men who set the pace of self-giving love are the original Adam and the new Adam. The original Adam was given the task to be the defender and the guardian of the garden. Adam was given the task to till and keep the garden. The Hebrew words abad and shamar mean actually to cherish and to protect. And that word garden in the biblical language often refers to woman's interior mystery. You're a garden enclosed, a fountain sealed, my sister, my bride. So Adam was given the task to protect, to shamar the garden of Eve from shame. And we know the rest of the story, don't we? He allows the serpent to enter, and he allows the serpent to have his way with Eve. And from this account, we have sin, blame, shame, and ruptured relationships, rupture in the body and the soul. Fast forward to the New Testament, you have the new Adam who enters a garden. And on behalf of his bride, he says, let them go. And he lays down his life, and he sets the pace of self-giving love so much that he goes to the cross on Calvary. And he sets the pace of self-giving love so well that the bride throughout history responds. Selfishness. The new Adam set the pace or set the paradigm of self-donation. He set the pace of self-giving love. This is every man's essence, to set the pace of self-giving love for woman. Imagine yourself in a war-torn country. Bombs are going off, gunfire in the streets, death looms overhead. And you and your family are pretty much starving because you can't get food for your family. It's so dangerous. But on the horizon is this celestial, glorious city where there's peace and light always shines and fruit's always on the vine. But the only problem is between you and that celestial city is a forest that you cannot circumvent. You cannot go around, you cannot go over, and it's filled with brambles and thickets and thorns. And the only way is to carve a path, which is almost seemingly impossible. So you do it. In the middle of the night, you steal away secretly with your family. You get to the edge of the forest, and you know your family has to carve a path through this forest to get to the celestial city. And you turn to your wife, and you say those most heroic words before you enter. Honey, you go first. It's stupid. Who would ever think that? That's ridiculous, because that's not reality. We're called to cut the path. We're called to take the hit. We're called to take the thorns and the brambles so that our family, our wives, can make it to the celestial city, so they can make it to eternal fatherland. We are called to set the pace of self-giving love. Recall Joseph. He was unwilling to expose Mary to shame. The Greek for that phrase, expose Mary to shame, actually says that he was unwilling to unveil her. He was unwilling to unveil her mystery. Guys, we're always unveiling, aren't we? I was just at the airport coming here, and I was walking through the airport, beautiful woman walking in front of me, and the guys that were coming my way, they were just staring at her, just completely up and down, unveiling, not looking her in the eyeballs, unveiling. We constantly are tempted to unveil. Joseph sensed his unworthiness of woman, of Mary, of the mystery taking place in her, and he refused to expose her to his shame, his potential to sin, his potential to lust. And therefore, he did not cling to her, very important, for his value. He did not cling to woman for his value, for his identity was in God. And he shamarred Mary's garden from shame. He became the true protector, the guardian of the garden. So, how did he do it, though? When he was praying, he asked God for help, and what did God do? Send him right back to her. And by receiving Mary, he received the power of purity. He received the ability to be chaste. And this is the key. This is Joseph's second secret. By receiving the woman, Mary, we can receive purity. By entrusting ourselves to her, she will give us the grace to love woman rightly and set the pace of self-giving love for her. So Joseph's second secret, embrace Mary so we can embrace woman properly and set the pace of self-giving love.